facing head-on the emotions beneath the surface as we bridge from an old world of confusion and lack to a beautiful new world of freedom, abundance, and love with straightforward truth and inspired hope is what you'll find on The Charla Anderson Show. Collector and connector of fascinating people. And everyone is fascinating. Here's your host, Charla Anderson.
Well, good, beautiful day, you beautiful, beautiful souls. This is Charla Anderson, host of the Charla Anderson Show, collector and connector of fascinating people, and everyone is fascinating, especially you. So grateful that you would join us today. This is January 24th, I believe already. This month has gone by quickly, and I'm grateful that you would take the time to listen to this live or recording or however else you're going to find the show and listen to it one way or the other. I'm so grateful that you would take your time to do that. It will be on Global Podcasts with Podetize. We're on Win platform. And as we begin every show, I'm going to take our little 22-minute mini vacation and breathing in for 7 seconds, holding for 4 seconds, and breathing out for 11 seconds. And then we're going to breathe in calm, breathe out gratitude. So let's do our little exercise. Thank you so much for joining me. Here we go. 7 seconds in, calm. Hold. Release. Gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So incredibly grateful that you would take that moment to get centered with us and join us on the talk today with my friend and an amazing advocate for the Fort Worth Hope Center, who is my charity of choice and has been for many, many years. And this is Donna Taylor joining us today. And if any guests that are coming on, if you can find a way to turn your video off and just have your mute off while we're doing the show, and then we'll come in with questions towards the end, if that works. If not, no worries. Anyway, Donna Taylor, director of the Fort Worth Hope Center, and it's, I call it the Loaves and Fishes Ministry, that beautiful place that has been there feeding, that is east side of Fort Worth and serving so many areas of Fort Worth, yes, Texas. And it's absolutely fabulous to have that Loaves and Fishes Ministry, because I've watched when they had nothing and things would show up and they would just distribute out. So what does that mean to you, Donna Taylor? Tell me a little bit about who you are, and let's just start with that. You are director of the Fort Worth Hope Center.
Yes. So just a little back history on how I became the director of the Fort Worth Hope Center. Back in 2009, I came here having to do community service on a felony drug charge. And the lady that normally took in the registration for that was absent that day. So Pastor Joanne, who is the founder of the Fort Worth Hope Center, she did my intake. After we talked for a while, she volunteered herself to take me on up under her wing. She said that she would go to the court cases with me, and her and Pastor Orlando have been phenomenal. They have been like the parents I've never had. I was assigned under Sarah Atchison, who is a pillar here at our church, Without Walls Church at the Fort Worth Hope Center. For 3 years, I almost lived with her as I was in training, spiritual training with her. And I cannot give enough credit to what they've done for me here. But the reason that the Fort Worth Hope Center has become such a passion of mine is not only the difference that it's made in my personal life and in my family's life, but in the lives of others here in the Fort Worth area and surrounding areas. We work with, on a daily basis, people that have charges, criminal charges, whether they be felonies or misdemeanor charges. And I have also become the supervisor for the criminal justice system for the Fort Worth Hope Center. We're able to minister to people because we truly believe that a person that has spent 40 plus years locked up, that they have got to be spiritually fulfilled and find out what the root cause was that to keep from being a repeat offender. And so we minister to them as they complete their hours that they must do for their courts and for their parole and probation. That is one aspect of what we do here. We also offer senior citizens a program here to come and work. They get 12 hours that is paid through another organization. It's called SERVE. And we're also host third-party workers from other companies that come here to do light duty. And I also will help supervise labor detail check-in people that have to do their hours as well. So we have a lot of different things that's moving parts here at the Fort Worth Hope Center. But our primary focus is feeding people here. We are feeding hope to people, and not only physically, but spiritually. And so we are open to community volunteers that come here. We've had community workers here that have been here longer than I have. I've been here for 15 years, and some of our community volunteers have been here 17 years. And so that speaks a lot for the organizations, for someone to come here and volunteer that much. One of the things that we do is on every Tuesday and Friday, we hand out groceries to the public here on site. And then Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we have also become a warehouse distribution center since I've taken over. And what we do, we send out loads anywhere from a truck bed trailer or a semi trailer loads that are going out into the Metroplex. We're connected to all counties touching Tarrant County. And so we are feeding multitudes of people from here. This that has expanded our partnership with small churches, small communities, and other organizations that they are not able to get food because they're having to purchase it from other organizations that provide it. But we are very blessed that we do not charge anything for the goods that is donated to us.
Let me ask you a question just a second. You know, you have, you mentioned 3 days a week, you're sending out truckloads, and that is of food? Or
Yes.
is that of furniture or provisions, clothing, or just, okay, so food, and where does it come from?
We have private donors that donate to us, and companies such as Tyson, Midwest Food, Quality Sausage, multiple people like that donate food to us by the hundreds of thousands of pounds. Quality Sausage at the end of last year donated 174,000 pounds of sausage that I have been sending our box truck to pick up in intervals of 10,000 pounds at a time, because we only have a limited amount of storage here. So
what a blessing. So think about that. I mean, you guys, so well, I think what the ministry that is helping so many people in churches in a huge way, somebody's got to take care of all the business. But if we, you know, Pastor Joanne, Pastor Orlando, that they've had a heart for this service ministry for decades and decades. And actually, Pastor Joanne was one of my first guests when I first started the show in 2023, back in the beginning, probably this spring. And she has subsequently, they're in their late 70s, 80s, you know, so she had a stroke and she's still going strong. She's still serving. And somebody had to take that on, right? I mean, somebody that's been there had to take that on, and that's a huge thing for you to actually have taken on. And I'm so proud for you and of you. I mean, when you said Sarah Atchison, I think that's it, Atchison.
Yes.
Angel on earth. Oh
Mhm.
my gosh. You walk in and she just hugs you and everything. And so when I found, I'll just give a little bit of reason I'm so connected to the Hope Center. And I heard, I don't know, it was years ago, I met a gentleman that started Jeffrey Larson. Actually, he was really great friends back with them a long time ago with the Reyes family, and he was telling me about all that they do. And one day, I think it was months later, I woke up going, I need to go there. I need to go there. I didn't have it was a Tuesday morning. I had no idea what they were doing, but I went and I got shown around, and they were teaching classes. They were doing forklift classes. They were doing computer classes at the time. They were doing cake decorating or food services trainings for people all over the place. And I kind of just fell in love. And so I went to the church, the Without Walls Church, which is attached there. And, at some time you walk in and it's like sometimes it looks like there's a lot of homeless people there, even, or very low income kind of people,
Right.
but they are so received with so much love. They don't care if you've got the worst felony on the face of the earth, or if you are, don't have anything, or if you, it's just a place that people show up and are loved unconditionally as God loves, which is, of course, a lot of my message. And I'm sure I learned a lot of that from the Without Walls Church and the Hope Center operation there. That is beyond I just can't fathom. They do so much with so little, and continue and continually plug away at building that up. So we can continue on that. So you've got your nonprofit certification. You've got,
Yes.
you do a lot of things outside of that as well, serving the community. But what's your plan for it? Where are we headed with this? And what do you need? We'll talk about that. And then I want to come back and talk a little bit about how you got there.
Okay, so during this course of 15 years that I've been with the organization and with the church, I have taken on multiple roles. And so I started out, when I first came here, they wanted to put me in the accounting department because I came from an accounting background. I have been a preparer doing federal and state taxes for many years, property appeals. I've always worked in the legal fields and things like that. But I didn't want that, because at that time in my life, I just needed a downtime. I just needed to regroup and be spiritually fed at that time. So that's when I said, I want to work in the kitchen. And so that's when I got to work alongside Grandma Sarah, that's Sarah Atchison. And that's how that relationship began. And so as time went along and issues arrived, I was being pulled more and more towards the offices to resolve issues that needed to be, fixed. And so it wound up that the lady that used to be Pastor Joanne's personal assistant, and she ran the HR department, well, there was a couple of them, that they had to retire to take care of their family. So I was just kind of there. It was something I already knew how to do. So I kind of took over HR. And then little by little, Pastor Joanne was pulled more from here, having to take care of things at home and help running our ministry. So I kind of started micromanaging all the departments. And then when Pastor Joanne had her stroke almost 2 years ago, I was handed the reins. And it was like, Donna, you're the only one that can take this over. You either take it over or we're going to have to close. And so I did. I took it over. As much things and knowledge that I had in running profit business, I brought that into and found out that is not how you do a nonprofit. So Dr. Jeff Larson is a dear friend of mine. So I called him. I said, I need help. I cannot do this without you walking alongside me and taking me by hand and showing me the ropes. So that's exactly what he did. He spent many hours here with me and on the phone with me every time I got in a jam. And so here recently, towards the last quarter of last year, I decided, well, I've gained as much knowledge as I can gain from Dr. Larson. Now I need to figure out, I need some more knowledge to keep this up and going. So I went back to school and got certified in nonprofit management. And my goal is to take this to even greater levels and to expand, maybe have more hope centers in other counties, also be able to continue to do what we do here, but sending out more goods. Right now, last year I managed to bring in a little about $5.5 million worth of in-kind goods that all was distributed last year to families. We served over 500,000 of individuals and families, which we consider our families at 4.5, even though Tarrant County is running at like 2, 5, and 3. It's because the families we serve all have multiple people in the household. So you could take that number and you multiply that family count, 500,000 families. By that, you're looking at a lot of individuals, And so, but we operated that on less than $400,000. And so
that's incredible. I mean,
yeah.
Really incredible that. And so when I look, when I look at donating to anything, it's going to be somebody that is local, and it is going to be somebody that, hands-on, and not these mega nonprofits that you get the trickle down to the people is very, very small in many, many cases. And so that's why I attached myself, over and over to you guys, and feel very, very proud to be, that I just want to say that I as the Charla Anderson Show, or my brand, charla.com LLC, you're my nonprofit of choice. And I will, in the show notes and everything, when we it'll come out on podcasts all over the globe in about a couple weeks, almost a couple weeks, and we'll have in the notes how to donate. And here you can go to the fwhope.org, fwhope.org, donate, find a way, and then I have a separate little landing page that I'll post, that you can also simplify that and go straight through. So anyway, the reason, and walking in, this is when I walk in. So there was times I would walk in on Sunday morning or even Wednesday night. There was classes. There was so much heart and spirit in these, walking into that old warehouse building that they've made as beautiful as possible, and has served so many people. But sometimes I would just walk in and get tears. I felt the spirit so deeply in this place, just that, God had his hand on the Hope Center and the Without Walls Church. And so those are the little pieces that are my part. I just walk in and just feel it and know that I'm in a holy place because of the heart and the integrity of the operation and the people there.
Yeah. Sometimes I say that we're kind of like Planet Fitness. We're the no judgment zone.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. And so, it hasn't been too long ago. We have a street ministry team that goes out and witnesses to the homeless. And oftentimes the homeless will come here. They've gotten a ride or walked here or something. And it really touched my heart. This was about 2 months ago when one of the homeless ladies had showed up, dressed as she was. We set her on the front row. I'm in a meeting. And that was very touching because everyone is welcome, no matter how you come, how you're dressed, you know, what we don't care about people's backgrounds. Only thing we're wanting to do is to love people right where they are, you know, and help them to grow spiritually. And if us providing forklift training courses to help them get a job, that's what we do. We provide groceries to people. We've also started handing out groceries on the second Saturday of every month because, you know, a lot of the people that do work during the week, they are struggling, but they are not able to get any assistance from the government because they do have a job, but they're struggling and they need that little extra assistance. So we've opened it up on Saturdays so that those that do work, they can come and get groceries for their family as well.
And one of the things that Pastor Joanne or Reyes has always said and done, and it's beyond belief that this is the case, but not only when you go offer groceries to a family, you offer more than they could use so that they can share with their neighbors and friends, so that they're receiving, but they can also be giving from what they've received. And it's beautiful to think that they always, especially at Thanksgiving, right? When I remember, I remember a year, the week before the turkey distribution, there were no turkeys. and everybody pulled a ticket and they're just going, we're having faith that we'll have turkeys. And apparently they had exactly enough turkeys, or down to maybe a Cornish hen for someone, you know, enough to serve, and they give enough to serve your neighbors. And I just think that component, you know, you get what you think about, you get more of what you believe, and if you are generous, you're going to receive more. So that's part of my thought on that too. I just love that story of that no turkeys were there, and all of a sudden they had enough for the last person to come through the line and get something.
Right. So this past year we weren't able to get the turkeys, but we had some left over and we served those out until they ran out. But it's a misconception. A lot of people assume that the turkeys or hams that we would hand out for Christmas are donated to us, and that is not the case. We have to purchase those at full market value to be able to hand those out, and in doing so, we have to raise the funds to purchase them. So the year before, it cost us right at $35,000 to buy enough turkeys to be able to hand out and hams. This year, the market value went, because of the increase in the economy, we were looking at anywhere from $44,000 to $48,000 to be able to purchase it, and we did not have the funds to do so. So, but we handed out foods. We had lots of food for people to be able to take and add to what they had. And our clients and the people that we serve was so blessed that we were able to do what we did. And we're going to continue this. We're going to be here as long as God wants us to be here in this building. And we look forward every day to people that walk in that are needing help. What can we do to help them? We had a gentleman that came in the other day that he said his wife and children were trying to get here, and he was just looking for food to be able to have for them when they did arrive here. We serve a lot of domestic abused women. They come here. We provide essentials to the women that they need. We help if we have furniture. We provide that to anyone, whether it's domestic abuse or families that's been burned out, people that's had to move. We provide clothing that's been donated to us here, to people, clothing for men to be able to have something decent to put on to go and do job interviews. We have opened up an area to where people can come in and use computer equipment, because believe it or not, there is a lot of families that don't even own a computer or have internet. So we will help them fill out job applications and so forth like that. We also have a group on Wednesday nights called CR, that stands for Christian Recovery, because we are really wanting to emphasize helping people to get off of drugs and to stay off of any type of addictions. We also offer a Zoom Bible training on Wednesday that Pastor Orlando personally is teaching. We have our Sunday morning church services that start at 10:30 a.m. every Sunday. Rain or shine, we are here. But the main thing is that we're here, and the community knows that we're here. We have people that come by just to be able to use a phone because they don't have a phone to use, because they need to call a loved one. I know that Pastor Joanne, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You're talking
know
about
that
Pastor Joanne. Yeah.
Pastor Joanne, this was started from a tornado that had come through and destroyed a lot of the area. And it started with just opening up this building for people to have shelter, a place to come get a hot meal. Okay. It has grown from Mrs. Baird's donating a few loaves of bread. This is 20 plus years ago, to now serving. And they would take this bread in their cars and go, and they would get other companies to donate some lunch meat and things like that, and chips and sodas. And they would go house to house handing out sandwiches to make sure that the people had something to eat, because all the electric and everything was turned off in this area because of the damage. It has grown from that to serving over 500,000 families a year. And it's grown all on faith. We do not receive federal funds here because we will not denounce our Christianity. And because of that, there's other larger food banks and organizations that do receive funding like that, but we don't. Ours is solely received from private donors such as yourselves that have a heart to serve people, and knowing that this food is going into people's hands that truly need it. Grandmothers that are on Social Security that are not able to get food stamps, but yet they're raising their grandchildren. For whatever reason, the parents are absent in their lives. We have families, it's 2 and 3 families having to live in one household because they cannot afford rent right now. This area has completely outpriced the individuals that are living here. This is one of the lowest economic zip codes in Fort Worth, the 76119 and the 76112. There was some new apartments that was recently built that are supposed to be low affordable income apartments for seniors. The starting price is $1,100 a month. Most seniors are not in our area, are not even getting $1,100 a month on Social Security. Therefore, they are having to rent rooms from other homeowners just to be able to make it. So that is our clientele that we are serving. And my heart is that people would come here and get involved with the Fort Worth Hope Center. Come and volunteer and see what we're doing, see the people that we're impacting daily here. Get involved with donations of in-kind goods. Companies out there, if you have leftover goods, call us. We will send someone to come and get it. And those of you that are looking for a place to sow money into to make a difference in someone's life, please donate to the Fort Worth Hope Center. You can do so by going online at www.fortworthhope. It's fwhope.org. There's a donate button on there. Come by, donate directly. You can send a check. Our address is on there. But we would like for you to come by and see your funds in operation and see every dollar that you donate here, the difference it is making in someone's life. And thank you for that.
That is so, I'm just, I just have this deep appreciation because the work, the tireless effort, day after day after day, that Pastor Joanne, she had vision that was so incredible. And she just kept, she would never give up. And she has found the right person in you, Donna Taylor, to come in and be that and relieve the pressure. I mean, she was doing, I felt like she was doing it all, almost.
She
Not a
was.
whole team, but she was doing so much and trying to, you know, teach the Sunday school class and do all the, and manage all of that. And I've just been in awe of the operation, how it goes. So what about this? You talked about having more Hope Centers elsewhere. What about, do you have a, or creating a prototype? You know, it really needs to be a prototype. Here's what we do, how we do it, and you know, and so that other people that have the heart to make a difference in our world, and you can't live a higher life than making a difference, even if from a smile to a donation, or you know, whatever, a life of service. The best you can do is to make a difference in someone else's life and make the world a better place. Like my mama said, right? Leave the world a better place and take care of the person right in front of you. It's huge to me. And so that's what you guys are doing. And I'm so, so what if, is there a, what you would call a outline, a business plan, so to speak, of how you're doing it, how it's worked? And I mean, what I know along the way, there were many amazing human beings that came through.
Yes.
And then kind of, maybe I would call it disappointed. They got back into something else. And then they Joanne was so disappointed, and so was I, about some of the people I'd made friends with while I was more active over there. And so nobody's perfect, and we all they need is the grace to come and have a place, and to learn how to be the one that makes a difference for the next person. So do you have something like that, a prototype or a business plan type model?
Yeah, I'm working with Dr. Larson on that. And I can say that we've had several people that have been here as volunteers, and they've had to move, and they have gone outside of here and kind of recloned the Fort Worth Hope Center and even added hope into their name. We had one done in North Dakota by a couple that was here. That's Emma and Toby Phillips. And they even have branched into the pet donations for food. That's another thing that we do here. We provide pet food for all of our clients as well. And that is donated to us through Don't Forget to Feed Me. So that is another good organization to donate to. We have it in Nigeria already. We have a Hope Center there that is ran by one of our missionaries, which is George Mensa. And we have sent funding over there to help with building wells, water wells for the villages over there, as well as I am Steve Zamora, who is one of the original founders that helped walk alongside Pastor Joanne and Pastor Orlando in founding the Fort Worth Hope Center. He and I have started Mexico Hope, which is a branch of our Fort Worth Hope Center. And once to twice a year, we send multiple trailer loads of goods into Mexico for 2 orphanages that we have taken on. We provide toys, clothing, food, whatever we're able to get across the border. We're taking that to the orphanages. So we're going to continue to branch out, not only here in our Metroplex, but we're wanting to be able to get it into other states as well as into other countries, to be able to help as many people as we possibly can, because all throughout the entire world, people are hurting. And there is bukus of food out there. You just got to be able to track it down and get it get it donated. And so that's one of the things that I do. I have a fabulous team. We're a very small team. There's only 4 people on staff here. The rest is all volunteers. And us 4 are kind of, we've taken on multiple hats, but God is good. He's given us the strength to do so and the wisdom and the knowledge of how to do it. We're grateful. We often say our most important person in the building is our volunteer. And we cannot thank the community that comes out every time and volunteers with us, because without them, this would be impossible. Fort Worth Hope Center would not possibly be able to be ran without our volunteers. We couldn't do it without the men and the women that come from community service to do their hours. We depend upon them for their skill set and their strength to be able to packages food and sort and bag and hand it out and distribute it. And so therefore we're so grateful to be such one small part of in this community, bringing this community together as one.
And incredible. And I'm grateful that sometimes just having an outline, somebody can go, okay, I don't have to reinvent the wheel. They learn the wheel the hard way and can make it easier for the next person. So, and I'm grateful that the federal restrictions that you've chosen to minimize that.
Yes.
I think that that's a great point as well. So Donna, you have taken on something, and I don't think there's a person that could ever look at this and say she doesn't care. You've got such a heart. You're the perfect person. And I know you've just been like a workhorse, a worker bee, right? You're just in there, you're on the hands on, and you're young still. You still got a lot of years of experience and energy to share. So what's next? Are you, so for you, let me just go back to you. You are an overcomer. And
Yes.
my stories, I want to have people that have overcome. You were in an abusive place. You needed a lot of these services yourself.
Yeah.
And you said in the beginning, you've received so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so grateful that you have that, that moment. How divine was that the director of the whole entire operation comes along and says, I'm going to court with you.
Right.
And who would have thought that, right? So that's the kind of people we're dealing with that just love God's people. And
Yes.
I'm grateful that you chose that. So you are an overcomer, and your life is better. You because of where you are, you also do horsemanship. You take care of children's, with horses, and I don't even know what you do with that, but I think that's another dimension of who you are.
Yes. So I do own horses. Even though I live literally here in the city, I've made a little small farm. I've got chickens and horses and goats and calves and things of this nature. But because horses was such a huge impact in my own life growing up and in my younger years, that I wanted to give children that normally don't have that opportunity to be with animals, because animals are so therapeutic. This club was founded by a young man here that was a high school student that he seen his friend shot and killed, some gang activity. And so I walked alongside his mother and his aunts and grandmothers and things like that. We all got together, started this club, and it's called Better Chance Riding Stables. And it's because we want to give our youth a better chance here in this community. So we get them interested in horses, in horsemanship, let them come out and spend time riding the horses and so forth like that, channel their energy in another way. Is so important. So that's one thing that I do outside of Without Walls Church at Fort Worth Hope Center.
But it's alongside, because it's still a ministry, you know,
Yeah.
it's still alongside your hobbies, your outside is still a life of service. What a gift you are.
Well, to me, for me to have gotten to this point in my life from that charge that I had, I just, I had made a vow that I'm going to dedicate the rest of my life in serving people. I've climbed all the corporate ladders. I've had all the fancy house. I've gotten away from all of that just to serve people and to be a blessing. So just the same things that was done for me here, which was attend court with people, walk alongside people, be there to answer the phone call, pray with them, wipe their tears when they're scared and don't know what to do. I do the same. We have people here on our staff and volunteers that have been through domestic abuse. They spend time counseling with women that are experiencing this. We are here and open. The ones that are our staff members that we have a wealth of experience, positive and negative, in life. And we take this and we give it back to others in whatever way we can to help another person. Whether it's, if we just listening. Sometimes all a person wants is someone to talk to and to listen to their side of the story. And we take the time to do that. We try not to get so wrapped up and so busy with the business side of this that we forget the most important side, which is our ministry side, to be there and allow people a place to come to for comfort, for release, to know that someone actually cares. And I think that that's what sets us apart from any other place that a person can go in the community to get groceries, is that we take the time to care for that person.
That's so beautiful. And so we're right, always the time goes really fast. So what is your call to action? What is your biggest thing, or your last word you'd like to leave with our listeners now and in the future?
Okay. Please get involved. Please look us up online, the Fort Worth Hope Center. Get involved. Come out and volunteer. Bring your family out during the holidays. Get your kids involved in volunteering. If you have goods at home that are in good condition, clothing, furniture that you can bring to us, bring it. We will make sure it gets into good hands that need it. And most importantly, those that are able to, please donate to us financially, so that your donations will be able to change and make an impact on someone else's life, as it has my own life and so many thousands of people that have come through our doors. That we will continue to be able to feed those that are in need, be able to counsel, be able to provide training so that people can get better jobs. We send them out for job staffing agencies that accept background, that are background friendly, that help provide for the resources, just the basics here, just keeping the lights on and the building. We appreciate, come see your donations here at the Fort Worth Center and the difference you are making in others' lives.
Incredible and beautifully said. And, it's no doubt it comes directly from your heart. So it's been a really good time with you today. I'm not certain if anyone has, so I can't always tell if I have visitors on our show or not. So if anybody has a question, wants to unmute really quickly or show their face and ask a question, feel free. As we just kind of wind down this, do it soon, so we can wind this conversation for this week on the Charla Anderson Show. This has been a beautiful time, Donna.
Thank you.
When I talk about the Hope Center, I am warm inside. I mean, it's a huge place, and I know I'm not there as much as I would like or had been in the past, but it's where I am. It's my heart. It's the kind of thing, the kind of organization that I respect and would give my time and money to all day long, as opposed to the big organizations that I'm not very respectful of. So anyway, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Charla, so much for allowing me to come onto your show, to use this as a platform to make people aware. A lot of people are not even aware that there is a Fort Worth Hope Center here on the east side of Fort Worth and what we do. And so I want to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to get this out to more people.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And like I said, you can go back and listen to Joanne Reyes' show back in March or April, or probably April of 2023, and find her heart as well, because she and Orlando were the foundational people. So I'm thankful and grateful, and the show is live every week, and we're moving into the second season already. It's so hard to believe, and I'm thankful once again, Donna. Thank you for someone, and I'm going to have to come back up there soon and just get a physical hug, because I. You know who I am, as a hug and back. I'm the hug and scratch minister at the Without Walls Church. Well, blessings to you, and thank you so much for everything. And I always want to I usually leave with a little thing like, where you are, who you are is exactly perfect. You're created, and you cannot be loved more or less by God than you are loved right this second. And so if you learn to receive that, and you'll feel that if you end up at the Hope Center. But you're perfect, exactly who and where you are. You do not have to do anything to be loved more or less by God and us. And you can't, this is a little piece that I started to say earlier and forgot, but that, you can't force somebody into something. You can't preach someone into loving themselves more. You have to show them.
Correct.
And you have to love them through. And and this is a saying I have: the harder people are, the more they need it, right? The harder people are, the more they need it, because they've not learned to love themselves the way they need to be loved, so that they can love others. And I know that kind of training comes through as well at the Hope Center. So I love you so much, Donna Taylor, and Fort Worth Hope, fwhope.org. And thank you so much for joining me today. And we're going to just say, always choose joy.
Okay, thank you.
Parting is such sweet sorrow. The Charla Anderson Show, encouraging you to stand strong and courageous with bold faith, no fear, immense hope, kindness, and love, especially towards yourself. Visit charlaanderson.com for replays, blogs, and more on her ever-expanding website, as well as watch her live TV show on winwinwomen.tv, Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And so that we can continue learning together and growing this community of beautiful souls, we invite you to share the Charla Anderson Show with your circle of friends. Until we meet again next week, remember always, choose joy.